Alright guys, hello and welcome back. It's game 2 for the day. Six Sigma facing off against Losing Road. We're still in Group A, which is going to be the second one of the day. It's actually Match A as well. There's no picks and bans, you may have noticed that. We found Hindu Man again, and as does tend to happen when he gets involved with things break horribly.
Things always break. Six Sigma versus Losing Road. Six Sigma unlikely from my eyes of being first seed in the challenger scene coming out of the group stage, of the round stages. But now we're in the groups. They're top of the shop coming up against Losing Road, who were seeded bottom right now. We'll see what they can actually do in this cup format, in this group format rather. Let's just introduce the teams for you. Bottom side of the map, left hand side of your spectator UI, we're going to see Bulbasaur playing that solo lane. Bastet Fexes in the middle lane playing the Ra. Mr. Crunchy is going to be playing in the jungle as Athena. Vote MBK will be your hunter, and finally Deku, Banterless Banter King Scrub, will be playing Sylvanus in the support role.
We're 2 minutes into the day, Hindu, and already you're starting with the banter and the BM.
Not even started.
The Banta. Sorry, I gotta do my faux English accent. That said, let's introduce Losing Road as well. Unarity in the solo lane, gonna be playing Hell, Lever QQ in the jungle as Nemesis. Farrakrik bring out Puch to the mid lane. Skaska over in the solo, or dual lane, excuse me, as the support Gam. Finally, Kesbanafi as the 80 carry Hunter Apollo.
Early invade coming out on the right hand side from Six Sigma, looking for this blue buff with Mr. Crunchy and Bulbasaur. So they're gonna be able to come in here and steal this one away, as it is a Hell in lane.
Yep.
That's kind of what you want to do. Steal away the blue buff from Hell, deny that early push power that she's going to try and have, and force some issues.
Yeah, Unarity is no stranger to playing this Hell, however, so while the early game will be quite a bit more difficult without that blue buff online, I don't see this going too poorly. Yes, it's up against a Bastet. Bastet's going to be looking to throw a whole ton of poke out, but you can already see the improved sprint is online to avoid the slows from that the cat call when that level 5 all-in inevitably comes out.
Yeah, that's exactly the only reason he's really picked that up. He's just to deal with it early on in the game. Make sure you can get away from the cats at level 6, sorry, at level 5. But there's a chance that you could still get picked off by them anyway, just because of the bleed damage that can come out from Bulbasaur. But now he's not going to have that blue buff. Got to watch his mana a little bit more this time around.
Yep, that is for sure. Take a peek over the mid lane. A little bit of a hit there coming out to Fexes off that Alplash. He's not doing too hot. His win rate is well below 50% right now. He's not getting played too much. The immobility, while people, it's so reliant on position that despite your best intentions, it's just so easy to get caught out on him.
Well, I like the Alposh pick this time around. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Alposh was picked into this Ra, which I think is a really good call for them, honestly. Because when Ra goes for that heal and puts the pressure on, if they do manage to get the Duff... Oh, great pull by Deku on the left-hand side, actually. That's going to be first blood. His Vote MBK picks that one up. A really good pull coming out from Deku that I just didn't expect. Luckily, I caught it. I don't know if the cameraman did.
We did.
Did the cameraman? Hey, we're good. We got first blood. Everyone's
Occasionally
happy.
we get it.
But yeah, one thing to note about, as we see a ton in mid lane for Mr. Crunchy, looking for the damage once again. Blind going to come out from Fexes there. But as I keep trying to say, Zayden, the Fleeting Breath, the 3 ability on our Push. If he can actually land that inside the heal at the same time as the team groups up, that could be a 5-man stun potential if they're trying to siege or heal the whole team back up. So I like the pick against the Ra. It's a good decision to try and pick it. Will it work out for them? We'll see, because they've got some pretty good gods of Six Sigma here to deal with an Outwash.
Well, they do have that Sylvanus as well, so kind of the double dipping there as far as that Fleeting Breath is concerned. And that one, you don't have to rely on actually catching a whole bunch of people standing in that Ra heal to actually apply the effect for him. So we'll see. We'll have to see how that one plays out. He's not quite as in a bad spot as Anubis with, I'm standing still, but he's still a bit of a slow mobile god, and when you're up against the likes of an Athena with the taunts and the roots coming out from that Sylvanus, it's still going to be a scary matchup. Farrakirk's going to have to play this one pretty well. Looking for the grab, Deku Scrub will miss that one in the back of the Verdant Growth.
Deku, he was stood still, Deku.
Yeah.
He was stood still. He even rooted him.
He was off to a great start.
He even rooted him. Now he's messed up. 3-man, no, 2-man taunt. Snipe comes out, followed by the Wrath of Terror coming out. Farrakirk in a little bit of trouble there. Not going to take too much more. Oh, he nearly turned back into that Celestial Beam, which could have been a kill, but he'll survive for now. Good poke damage coming out from Six Sigma.
Yep, and with that, I believe that was left and right Harpies being exchanged 1-for-1 before. A little bit of aggression for Six Sigma coming out, though no kills on the back of that. So the Hunters being left to their own devices over in that dual lane, they'll be farming up. Once again, that whole I'm going Transcendence, you can go ahead and go for that Death's Toll Devourer's Gauntlet start, but with that early first blood onto Caspanifi, he did pick up the boost, which does mean Transcendence can be a little bit delayed.
Yeah, it will be a little bit delayed. I mean, it's going to take him a little bit longer to finish that one off. It's 1,400 gold to start getting that one on. I believe it's still 1,400. Maybe I'm wrong. I need to work that one out. Check it. But it should be 1,400 gold. So he's about 600 gold shy of that just now at the moment, especially after picking up those boots, which it made sense for him to go back and get just because he did die early on.
Yeah, take a peek over the soul lane right now. Bulbasaur, Unarity has kind of reached the point in the matchup where he's going to be okay in lane as that hell. You see the back and forth poke going on. Even without the mana buffs being picked up for the second time this match, Unarity's mana bar is fine. Even with going back to base and with that breastplate online, it's a little bit more protection to kind of mitigate some of that poke that Bulbasaur is going to be thrown his way.
I expect to see a blue buff invade if possible coming out from Six Sigma again.
Yep,
just so the Hog get used by Bulbasaur to force away the minions so they can actually invade on this. Hog is available for Athena here, so let's see what they can actually do. Blue buff has finally spawned, and let's see if they are actually going to try and contest with a double taunt from Crunchy.
They can look for the fight, but the buff is already secured for Hell, and she will have that available. Slow's not going to be applied. They don't want to look for this fight right now in the jungle between the taunts from Athena and possible rotations coming out. You know, you don't want to raw snipe over the wall to kind of ruin your party over there on the side of the jungle.
But on the left-hand side, we did see Six Sigma actually successfully invade and steal away the purple buff. Vote MBK going to take that one away from Apollo. And the Geb in this lane. Geb did have to base just then. And now it's going to cause him a few issues because you can see Vote MBK got a bit of a lead in this lane now.
At level end, item-wise, the Devourer's Gauntlet's built up and already stacking up those stacks. Caspian, even when he finishes that Transcendence, while it's going to be a little bit of a power spike, he's still not going to have Sustain built up for a good long while. I was playing around with the Transcendence build yesterday. Yeah, you get a couple potions, but the Sustain still kind of lacks compared to the life still coming out from that Death's Toll and Devourer's Gauntlets early on.
I mean, it's normal for that to happen, but you're so used to not having Death's Toll Devourer's Gauntlets anyway. If you think about the build everyone's been going for, it's been Bluestone into Heartseeker, so you've not had that sustain anyway. The good hunters will be able to play without that sustain, and you'll see those ones go for this Transcendence and try and make it useful for them. But the ones going for the Death's Toll, well, they're going to have to sustain and try to abuse that a bit. Deku looking a little bit aggressive here, might get picked.
Yeah, he's getting locked down. Rooted out. There's Wrath down to 3. Snipe connects onto 2. Lever QQ and Skaska very, very low on health. Shots through the wall. Mr. Crunchy with that reach passive, not quite locking down that kill. Was that Apollo flying around? He was, but
Apollo is flying around.
Drop down.
Surprised he didn't try and go for the Fexes there. It was a nice play overall from Six Sigma. Losing Road made the mistake of grouping up there for the Raw rotation coming in. They should have been aware Raw probably was going to rotate then. They lined themselves up perfectly, so the Wrath of Terror hit all 3 of them. Straight to the snipe and the Athena dunk. Just no kill, but what it does do for Six Sigma, it gives them both mid-camp control.
Yeah, the story of the day so far, at least inside of EU, is don't group up. We saw that last game. 4-man no escapes coming out from Ares, Neath hitting 4-man spirit arrows on the back of Broken Weave and detonations. And right there, 3-man Wrath's Terror coming out from Deku Scrib. So kind of the takeaway so far today. Don't group up against big AoE crowd control abilities.
I'm going to say it was a bit of a small misplay from Six Sigma there. I think they could have done Gold Fury off the back of that engagement just because of how low everybody was. I mean, Chakra on that Geb had to go back to base there. He had no other option. And there was no way they could actually secure that Gold Fury because the whole team wanted to base. They could have potentially gone for it and turned that
right
one
side.
around.
In a bit of a hard spot right now. Heals coming out, trying to stay alive, trying to juke and wiggle around. The minions helping out and actually applying less damage to Bulbasaur to go ahead and drop back. Yeah, that missed the bleed. Stop the kill.
If you hit the Razor Whip, that would have been a dead hell, but now the rotation's coming in from Levy. Decides for the option of safety, not going to actually go aggressive there. He could have actually looked for it and potentially picked up that Bastet.
And my question as well, you were talking about the Gold Fury attempt. Did Skaska have that Wrath of the Gods before he went back to base that time? Where the gold is sitting, I don't think it might. So.
No, I don't think he did have it, but I don't think it might either way. They should have potentially gone for the Gold Fury there. They opted for the side of caution, though, is the one thing you can say about that. But there was an opportunity for him to do it.
Yeah, because I know that at that point, Deku Scrib didn't have the Wrath of the Gods. It's one of those really risky plays. You have to make sure you can bring it down to not just 25%, but about 5 or so percent before you can actually secure it for yourself. And if the enemy support gets anywhere nearby in that point in time, there's really nothing you can do to stop them.
Well, I mean, the only 2 gods that were available, Puch could have stayed, but he'd already used the Crypts. His ultimate was on cooldown. Apollo had used across the sky 2-point engagement in the middle lane. They're going to look for the pick of the Gab. Not going to find it, though. Pull misses. No taunt came out from Mr. Crunchy there. They chose not to do that for the time being. So it's only a small gold lead at the moment, but the experience is what I'm looking at, 2,500 right now in favor of Six Sigma. And it's on the right sort of targets, too, these leads.
Yep, ward battle going on. 2-man taunt into a shield wall. They're not going to take the second tick of damage in that one. As Skaska will force the Cataclysm will only find Vexes. They look to disengage. Backside the fight though, Lever QQ getting chased down. They can find some damage. Could find it. Grab through the wall from Deku Scrib. Not going to connect. Petrify hits though, as does the snipe.
Oh, the snipe from Fexes was beautiful. That just forced the issue completely. This could be a potential Gold Fury attempt now as 4 members all grouped up nicely. Mr. Crunchy cleans up Apollo as well. And now only Geb is in the area to try and defend this as Alquash chose to base there in an inopportune moment. And that Gold Fury is going to go free to Six Sigma.
This guy's gonna go and look for that one, but the Gold Fury already a little bit too low. Before that, he will just turn around and back out of that Gold Fury area. So that'll be another small victory for Six Sigma. 3 kills plus that Gold Fury. Gold lead starting to build. That's a pull in Farrakrick, but the quick Stone Shield will stop any sort of follow-up crowd control from coming on in. He'll be able to safely survive that grab.
So far, so good for Six Sigma. They're continuing winning ways so far in this game. Checking on the player damage, you can see it's all in favor of Six Sigma. Even the support is doing more damage than anybody on Losing Road right now for Six Sigma. I mean, it is Sylvanus after all, though, so don't get too excited by that at home, boys and girls. Mid-Hoppy shoot a spawn. They're both flashing right now, and Six Sigma already in position.
Yep. Looks like they're going to secure both of these camps. LevaQQ going to poke his nose around that wall. See, yep, they got that already. He's going to throw Divine Judgment out onto Mr. Crunchy, who's able to use the Cramp to strike back to safety. And with that, both those guys will be able to head back to base and get those mana bars topped off.
Could potentially look for Fexes then. He was out of mana. There wasn't a whole lot he could have done against that engagement if they tried to fully commit onto him. But he gets away scot-free for the time being. Expect to see Fexes eventually work on a sprint into a heavenly agility more than likely, just to avoid the crips and the slows coming out from Nemesis as well. Slows on both sides.
And Hell will fall to that one. Catcall, despite the sprint and the heals coming out, the Defender of Olympus was enough extra little bit of help for Mr. Crunch, from Mr. Crunch to get Bulbasaur that kill.
Left side. They're going to catch Vote MBK out of position a little bit. With the rotation coming in from Nemesis as well, the Cataclysm is good. Lacerate used at the very last second, but the dash in from Levy slows him down. So Beautiful comes out, but immediately they back away because there's another rotation coming.
Yep, Fexes and Deku Scrub on their way over here. They could potentially look for the re-engage in this one, but Vote MBK did go back to base to heal himself on up. Deku Scrub now the one getting locked on down. He has no Lacerate to dash away from this. He's going to drop a Verdant Growth, catch LevaQQ with that one. As Fexes will drop a Space Laser Beam across the wall. Just say, yeah, I'm still here, guys. You don't want to chase my buddy down.
But look what's happening on the right-hand side while this has gone on. Bulbasaur has managed to take down that tier 1 tower for free after the pickup of Hell. No rotation over there to defenders. They were looking for the play onto Six Sigma on the left-hand side, and so they lose a little bit more gold once again.
Lane Fexes and Fabric trading back and forth. Fexes is the loser on that overall trade. He'll have that Solar Blessing back up in just a couple seconds to top off his health bar. He's not going to be too worried about that. Going forward, I mean, there's really no more push potential coming out from either one of these guys, unless they're just not in lane, mid lane. The wave clear is there for Ra always, pretty much, and the Outwash is the point he can explode the wave in one combo. The real story is, going forward, just, lane pushing as far as grouping up and things like that. The sustain coming out from Six Sigma is something that Losing Road, while yes, they have Hell as well, it's only one person providing that healing. As once again, they're looking to shut down.
Talking about Hell. Hell's in trouble again. Yep, they're looking for the Defender of Olympus to come in there as well. The Cats continuing to beat down Hell. She's got no tower to go back to. This should be a kill. Reinforcements are coming, but they're going to be too late. Can Levy turn this one around at all? No, he's going to opt for the side of caution. As Fex says, we're swinging around the back. Left-hand side, though, more aggression.
Yeah, pushing that wave all the way forward to the tower. Unity at this point in time, they have, it's Hell. If Hell gets online, gets to that point where she goes big later on, the spike heals that come out from her can just make or break a fight. Yeah, they have Ra, yeah, they have the Sylvanus, but it's all heal over time stuff. If you get burst down immediately, the fact that you're getting healed 100 health per second doesn't really help you too much compared to a big burst at 500 health later on that just comes instantly and tops your health bar, pushes you back up to like a third health, half health, and just allows you to stay alive. Unity kind of just needs to say, you know what, I can't push forward like that because Bastet's going to look to lock me down, and then Athena's just going to drop in and try to kill me. She needs to farm safe for a bit.
Left side, Cataclysm's already been used, as has the ultimate from Nemesis as well. They were looking for Vote MBK, but he backed out nicely, and with the Defender of Olympus there, the turnaround for the taunt. Onto Geb, who's now in trouble. The shield's going to buy time. Fexes is on his way, though. Watch out for the snipe!
The man does not miss snipes. Cannot let that guy have Ra because you will eat those things left, right, and center. Fex is going to find a Celestial Beam connection as well for the double into LevaQQ, as Mr. Crunch will tank up a couple tower shots and as they make their withdrawal on that one. They could definitely look for this tier 1 tower. It's already quite low. There's only 2 members of Losing Road nearby. Gold Fury, however, is coming up in just a few moments, so probably don't want to take any extra damage they don't need to.
They should be looking for gold here. Sorry, they should be looking for the tier 1 tower in left here. There's not a lot they can do elsewhere. They're going to go for the purple instead. Gold Fury's got another 40 seconds on the respawn here. And I'll push. They went that way. They went that way. That's a dead push. No, it's not, because the Crips are going to buy him time. Vote MBK is going to be the dead one. You're running through the Crips, buddy. Oh my god, he got out just with the Lacerate. Only just.
Only just, indeed. barely surviving that engagement. So the grouping still going on back to base to pick up a couple wards just before the Gold Fury does respawn and the battle for that starts. Guys, we're going to cut to a quick little break, hopefully sort the lag issues out. We'll be back here in just a moment. Alright guys, sorry about that. We are back into game. Six Sigma still facing off against Losing Road. 7 kills to 0 on the board for Six Sigma. Fight about to break on mid lane. Fex is getting locked down Divine Judgment and a slice and dice. He's going to take some poke, but a good taunt from...
Apollo, though, is going to come in with it across the skies. Found this so beautiful, too. But we saw on the backside will not find the bleed. The blink cataclysm coming out from Geb. There's no follow-up from the team, though, as they wasted a lot to bring down Fexes. But he does drop for the first kill, going over to Losing Road.
And the new map is now back, guys. That should be nice and convenient for you guys. Mr. Crunchy, with that taunt, able to save the lives of Fexes, only to meet his demise from Casper the Cross the Skies coming on in.
But
so
still, Six Sigma are going to try and go for the Gold Fury here, even though they just have that engagement. They did lose Fexes. They're 4v5 right now. Sorry, 3v4 right now. But Bulbasaur is on his way as well. Mr. Crunchy with a 3-man taunt, keeping them all busy. Gold Fury is about to fall to Deku's Scrub. Geb is here, but gets hit by the Petrify. He's going to get dropped down thanks to the Wrath of Terror. And vote MBK's in-hands from Medusa on the backside. You can see how Puch gets away with no HP.
Yeah, that was a nicely played fight by Six Sigma, relying on the Petrify to stop the potential steal coming in from Skaska. So they will find the second Gold Fury of the game, as well as a few more kills. Losing Road finally put a kill on the board just prior to that, but it's still Six Sigma very much in control of this match.
Well, they're all going to siege up mid lane now. They've got the opportunity to do so, but the wave clear coming out from Outwash, pretty strong. He's able to sustain himself up back to decent amounts of HP thanks to the help of Hell, and also his passive where he can just heal off those dead zombies.
Yep.
Are they dead zombies? Are they just dead corpses?
I don't know what they're supposed to be. We had this discussion as ghouls, zombies, other... I don't know.
Taunts. Great cleanse, though, coming out from Hal to turn that one around. Mr. Crunch in a bit of trouble there. Going to take a lot of poke damage coming out. The damage from the zombies themselves force him away as well. Geb's looking for the Cataclysm, finds it on Deku and Fexer, but Fexer's Celestial Beam hits too. That's going to force them back again.
Heal comes out from both of them as the Fleeting Breath are in cooldown. They can't look for the stun on the back of that. Mr. Crunchy will have to go back to base. Defender Olympus, though, straight back in. They're going to look for the fight. Blink coming in. Defender Olympus going to hit for a little bit of damage as well, but the taunt not quite going to be there. As that, there it is.
That's a taunt into a snipe, and the snipe takes out one. Crunchy takes out Geb. The crypts are emptied, but the crypts are only going to hold them off for half a second as the tower is still going to fall in mid lane. Six Sigma, 16 minutes in, are in full control right now.
Oh, absolutely. Rotation coming out over to this left lane. They know that tier 1 tower is already kind of scratched up and ripe for the taking. As Bastet's gonna, no cat call, but they're gonna straight tank this one up. Deku Scrub is, he has that steel mail online, more than capable of doing exactly that. Right now, Losing Road, they have not found an answer to this constant aggression and initiations coming out from Six Sigma. Between Mr. Crunchy and Deku Scrub, there's just constant attacks starting.
Yep, I mean this is working out really well because what they're managing to do is force the route of the Wrath of Terror to just make sure people use beads early, and then when the beads have already been used, that's when you see Mr. Crunchy going with that taunt. He's hitting multiple targets with it every single time, and allowing Fexes just to sit in the back, land these snipes time after time.
Yep. So some jungle buffs getting picked up on the side of Six Sigma. They're gonna look for a little bit of a breathing break for Losing Road right now. They can kind of catch their breath and just wait for that barrage to once again commence. Deku Scrub in the mid lane, kind of just taunting things. 2 members versus 1. They're not even going for the initiation, but let's face it, he's tanky. They're not going to kill more likely than not anyway. And to waste all their abilities with reinforcements potentially coming in, probably not end too well.
Well, this decision from Six Sigma, they focused a lot on the solo lane onto the health from Losing Road. And what that's actually allowed is Bulbasaur to get himself really in a strong position. Now, he's top of the damage charts, ahead of an Outwash, which is not an easy task to do, and also ahead of Medusa, who's early game one of the stronger ones. But it looks like that health might get caught here. No, she will not. They were expecting the cleanse to come out, which never arrived, so Mr. Crunchy held onto the top. But Geb, you might be caught, my friend.
Yeah, Fred MBK trying to body block, trying to lock this one down. Defender Olympus coming in and Bling from Deku Scrub as well to close the gap. That's going to be a pair of stilettos to the face of Skaska. The Cataclysm will buy some time. They look to get away. They really may not be able to look to fight. It's just a full-on let's get the hell out of here and stay safe and look for a better opportunity to engage ourselves.
Yeah, they do manage to get out, but Mr. Crunchy going in, going to get the taunt under the tower as well. The snipe from Fexes is good. The Wrath of Terror that follows it up, and now Fexes is going to stand in that heal. The boys are going to be able to heal themselves up, and with Vote MBK coming in, they can look to deal this damage to the tower. Now Bulbasaur on his way too. It's going to be a 2v5 defense on the left-hand side with the kitty cats dropped. That's backdoor protection's gone. but a great cleanse, and Bead Zone was used by Puch at the same time. So they got a cooldown they liked.
Yep, they forced the empty the crypts as well. That'll be offline for a bit. Thexus did not miss a Searing Pain last week in Week 5 on Raw. I'm pretty sure he has not missed one today either.
Well, he's hitting every single one. He's jumped himself up in the charts again. But Six Sigma, they got the top player damage on all 3 of their carry rolls right now. And they've got themselves in a great position to try and get themselves game 1, put themselves top of the shop alongside the team that won a little bit earlier on today, which was September 7. So
yep.
Those 2 teams, the favourites to come out of this group, but we'll see because it's still week 1 and only 1 game in. Things can happen. We saw it happen in NA yesterday.
Yeah. Some maybe unexpected results coming out for some of those teams. Nevertheless, it's week 6. There's still week 7 to kind of fight things back. Some of those teams are definitely going to need to win all 3 games next week if they want to keep their hopes alive going forward into the Grand Finals. And with the potentially Grand Finals leading, there's a bit of a road before that, but this is the last time Challenger Cup teams are going to be able to potentially get into the Smite World Championship later on down the road.
That's correct. This is the last opportunity for the Challenger Cup teams this year, at least for the World Championships. And with that, Vote MBK going to be taking down the Skull Fury. Deku Effects is on zoning duty again, losing road. They need to make something happen because the group's mid now. Bulbasaur is just free pushing this solo lane at the same time. They lose the Gold Fury as Boba is going to get free tower damage again.
Yep, the tower might actually fall right here. He could look to stay around. He's probably going to look to run away from these guys. He's going to go for the tower nevertheless. Tier 2 for your life would be worth it. It's 1v2, and they're not really been looking to fight this. Defender Olympus coming on in. It's about to be a 2v2.
It's going to be a death v death. That's what it's going to be. 1 for 0. And now Vote MBK is going to have to try and be careful. Sorry, Vote MBK. Bulbasaur's going to be careful. The full 5-man rotation turns up in the end. But so does Vote MBK. He's going to get the Petrify onto Apollo, who gets a good mez, uses the moves away, but you ain't going to go far. Is Deku going to blink, pull you back in? Celestial Beam does not connect, but Mr. Crunchy does with a reach. And the surrender vote has begun. Losing road. Looks like they might be giving up this one.
Yeah, Kessman, if he just corner of his eye, saw that Medusa, and things ended quite badly for him. Fire Giant now getting started up by Six Sigma. This one is going to be more or less for free in the back of a Tier 2 tower that Bulbasaur looked like he maybe should have been dead to rights on. Able to secure that and find a pair of kills for only their solo laner. And, well, Bulbasaur, I'm sure, not exactly thrilled to not have the Fire Giant buff. Having on the other 4 members of the team is still something to be happy about.
There's a whole lot they can do now. Puch going to get caught out of position here. Force Taunt. Beads is used as well. But MBK giving chase behind him. Levy QQ does not find any slow. And the surrender vote actually does go through from losing road. They've decided to give this one up pretty early on. But in the situation they were in, I can completely understand it.
Yeah, Six Sigma were definitely in control of this match. It was just non-stop pressure and aggression coming out from those guys. And losing road just really had trouble finding a way to respond to that. So, I mean, rough one for sure, but Six Sigma looking really, really strong.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking really strong at the moment. They look good. They've been good for the Challenger Cup so far, and they finished themselves in first position in the Challengers Cup. So what does that tell you? They're consistent so far. They're still going to have to face up Team Illusion and September 7, though. And I think September 7 versus Six Sigma is going to be a very, very big game to see how people are going to stand, how the standings are going to turn out in Group A, at least in Week 1.
Well, we'll find out that and more in just a little bit, guys. We'll cut to a quick little break and get the third game of the day all set up and ready to go for you guys. So stick around. We'll be back with that in just a few.